What's going on? This is JT. Another live stream for you early morning. Just want to come in, just once again, put some hours in on the live stream watch hour tip. I have a video here that talks about the blue man, a person who ingested colloidal silver because colloidal silver has like properties that helps boost your immune system. And this man also was taking colloidal silver to put on his skin to take care of some flaky skin, which I thought was pretty amazing, right? Now, I work in histology here in Baltimore. I've been in histology for maybe, I guess, good over 14, 15 years. And we use colloidal silver special stain in order to see certain things under the microscope to see if a person has a particular amount in their organs, depending on whatever tissue we have on the under the microscope, right? So I know of the colloidal silver stain, but I didn't know of the properties colloidal silver is used for. I had no idea. So when I ran across um, this footage, I definitely had to share it. Now, growing up, I used to love the show called The Smurfs. Now you had Papa Smurf who had the beard, and you had all the Smurfs. You had Smurfette, and you knew about the blue people. They were like little blue people, right? Gargamel would go around and try to catch the magical creatures. So we all grew up watching this. I wonder if they were projects of this colloidal silver that this gentleman used. Now, I went to New York some time ago, and I remember seeing a show called like the Blue Man Show, and they play the percussions and they act out on stage, do acrobats and stuff like that. It was a pretty entertaining show. The only thing I didn't like about the one of the performance when I went to New York, the seats were so small, and that was the most uncomfortable feeling. I tell you, I could not take sitting for over 2 hours in this seat, but I definitely enjoyed the show. And Blue Man Show was big. I think they were even in Las Vegas. So I definitely enjoyed my time in New York when I watched the Blue Man Show. So I say all this to say this reminds me of that. But with the Blue Man Show, they wore paint. They could take it off. This gentleman here was unable to take his off. Now, he would ingest the colloidal silver, which helps boost your immune system, but took it a step further by applying it on his skin. So I was like, I have to share this information. Us in the silver community know of the medicinal purposes silver is used for in the industry. That's one reason why it has value. But silver in this capacity, I never even heard of. And I've been working in the laboratory, like I said, for over 14 years. So one thing I have to do prior to me sharing any content that I did not create is a disclaimer. So I'm going to share that right now.
Disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing.
Okay, now, if you can hear me in the chat, please put a 1. I want to make sure I'm nice and clear. I always want to make sure I put up the disclaimer for using any footage because you have to be fair use. Before I go on any further, I want to make sure that my soundboard is on. So give me a sec. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Okay. All right, I'm back at it. I got my soundboard on. It's on and popping. Now, before we go any further with this live stream, I want to talk about what I do. I'm JT Coin Rings. This right here is one of the live streams that I'm using to gain more watch time hours. Okay, so basically, if you pop in, do me a favor. It's for it's nothing you have to pay for, nothing you have to fun crazy thing to do. Just hit the like button. Hit that like button coming in. That helps with bringing more people to the stream. If you like, please leave a comment. And that's also showing some form of engagement, and those things are free. Okay, you're helping me out to make sure I hit that next goal in my YouTube journey. February the 2nd will be my 365 days, my calendar year, and that's the time I have to finish my watch hours. So I'm going to make a quick dash and try my best to complete that. Okay. I had a live stream earlier today, and that live stream consisted of me making 2 rings that I will later have to engrave and create for some customers. So I spent almost 3 hours on that stream, and I said, well, today, let me put in some more time. All right. So basically, let me share this video of the Blue Man. If you heard of this before, let me know in the comments if you heard this story before. Okay, let me share. Oh, that's loud and clear. Got the horns on. Okay, so let's do this. This right here is the video that I'm telling you. It's going to be a 5-minute video. I'm going to put myself on mute because I think if I play it at the same time, you'll get a feedback. But you let me know if you can hear it clearly, okay?
Don't adjust your TV set. This man's skin really is blue. He used to look like this, a good-looking young man with a shock of red hair. But after using a home remedy, Paul Karason looks like this.
Were you around my shade before?
Yeah, probably a little lighter.
So how did this happen? It all started when Paul was looking for a cure for flaky skin. Doing his own research, he read about drinking a solution of silver in water. At first, things were fine, but then Paul started rubbing it onto his skin, and it started turning blue.
When did you first realize that you were blue?
A friend that hadn't seen me in a while came by and asked me what I'd done to myself.
We compared our arms. Paul's used to be fairer than mine. Now it's a dull gray blue. And despite the change in his skin color, Paul kept drinking the stuff because he says it cured ailments like sinus problems and even arthritis. Paul showed me how he makes it.
I use distilled water, and then I take this apparatus here.
It looks like a high school science experiment. Paul attaches electrodes to a strand of silver wire. He sends a current into the water, which extracts the silver. After about 15 minutes, the dissolved silver turns the water into a milky liquid. Paul's fiancée, Jackie, drinks the stuff too. But Jackie's skin looks normal because she says she never applied the silver directly to her face like Paul did. They met on the phone and she fell in love with him. Months later, she saw him for the first time, and she says even though she knew he was blue, it was still a shock.
Well, that's that's amazing. Now, I want to read the information I found online about colloidal blue. It says is colloidal silver safe, right? Colloidal silver can cause serious side effects, okay? The most common is algria. It's a bluish gray discoloration of the skin, which is usually permanent. The colloidal silver can also cause poor absorption of some drugs, such as certain antibiotics, thyroxine, used to treat thyroid deficiency. So that right there should have been red flag. I don't know the year that this gentleman used colloidal silver, he knew about these side effects because they say that colloidal silver had other claims, like the claim it boosts your immune system, okay, ease chest congestion, and treat and prevent viral infections like common colds or COVID-19. You might also hear the colloidal silver helps treat conditions like cancer, HIV, AIDS, shingles, herpes, or eye problems. But these statements are not based by research. So you hear a lot of these things come up when people use homotherapy, natural therapy as well to try to fix ailments, right? So this gentleman did that. He would drink it and also apply it to his skin. So I tell you, so people still take and saying the same things. Yeah. People still take it and saying the same things. R3D is stating right there. Most definitely. Brown Sugar says evening. Most definitely at evening. But yeah, this is one of the things I found. I thought it was pretty peculiar and I wanted to share. Like I said, I use colloidal silver staining to find how much people have in their tissues where I work. I work in histology. So we study looking at the colloidal silver, the deposits in certain tissue under the microscope. BigFlip Coin says, I drink silver water daily. Okay, because it has some medicinal purposes that it helps to prevent. It said it helps boost your immune system and ease chest congestion. So I'm sure some doctors, basically, recommend it. I'm sure. I don't know. I've never been recommended to take it, but if you do take it on a daily, BigFlip Coins, thanks for sharing that. DimeBag Darren, CDN Coins and Text says, thanks for your content. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming in and checking out the content. I'm going to go in further with this right now. So let's finish the video. I'm going to mute myself.
Were you taken aback?
Very much so, yes. Yeah, I had to really look at it and keep looking at it and remember who I had talked to and who I had fallen in love with.
Paul says his blue skin has many advantages. He never sunburns and doesn't need to wear sunglasses. Here he is with his fiancée on a recent trip to New York City. But he also says there are some side effects he doesn't like.
Do you feel that you have been treated differently because you're blue?
Oftentimes, some of the people were less than polite.
But despite everything, Paul says he has no regrets about using his silver remedy.
If you could change back to the way you were, would you do it?
I'm not sure.
Really?
Really?
He shocked the world 4 years ago.
So as you see, he was asked a question based off the color of his skin, because once again, he didn't just drink it. He also applied it to his skin because he said he had flaky skin. And you see exactly what happened. Now, I think that people can go to that extreme. As the story goes on, we're going to see other things that has happened to him. Not because of the blue skin, but it could have caused him not to gain employment because of it, because of his skin. Let's read what BigFlip's Coin states here. He says, buddy, I had stage 4 cancer with 2 months to live. Wow. 4 years later, he is still going and drinks silver daily. No explainable reason why he's alive. Wow. I mean, stuff like that, when you hear certain things like that, it's hard to argue the case. Do it have medicinal purposes? Can it help boost your immune system? Research, I have not seen it, but yes, not me. No, I was basically just reading what you were saying. I understand. It was not you who was going through it, but you said a buddy of yours is what you were saying, right? your buddy had. Got you. I got it. Yeah. Even when it becomes one case, two case, or maybe we can count a handful of times that people, take this measure, we still want to look at some research to see what the researcher says, because when they do it, they do it over hundreds to thousands of people over a period of time by running tests. So, but for years, as we know, it does have some medicinal purposes. I'm looking at some more stuff. How does colloidal silver work in the body? It says colloidal silver is said to have a broad antibacterial and antiseptic effects when taken orally or placed on a wound. It is unknown exactly how colloidal silver works. However, research suggests that it attaches to proteins on the cell walls of bacteria, damaging their cell membrane. Okay, so there are research that's studying certain attributes of colloidal silver. Okay, but I want to go into more of this video because it explains some more about what happened to this gentleman. So let's listen. I'm gonna mute my mic so it won't be any feedback.
Ago, a man who turned his skin the color blue.
Amazing story. I've never heard of anything like that.
This is a first on the Oprah show. He really is blue.
This California man is blue, literally.
But whatever happened to Paul Karason, the guy who will forever be known as Blue Man? Sadly, he's fallen on hard times. Paul even lost his home and had no choice but to move into this homeless shelter.
I really had no other place to go.
A series of crises landed Paul on the streets. He battled prostate cancer and heart problems, broke up with his fiancée, and couldn't get a job.
People are rather reluctant to hire blue people or people that are noticeably different.
So he left Madeira, California, and returned to his hometown of Bellingham, Washington, where he moved into the Lighthouse Mission Shelter. It houses 40 homeless people. But going back to his hometown turned out to be an inspired idea. Blue Man has a girlfriend. Paul first knew Joanne Elkins 47 years ago in junior high. There's Paul in the yearbook, and there's Joanne in a beauty pageant around the same time. Paul got in touch with Joanne, and she helped him move out of the shelter. Now they live together.
He's quite the guy, despite the fact that he's blue.
Sad news about the man who achieved fame as the Blue Man. Paul Karason has died at age 62. Karason shocked the world 5 years ago when he came forth as the man whose skin had literally turned blue. As a young man growing up in Washington State, Karason's complexion was completely normal. His skin turned blue after he sought a cure for flaky skin. Doctors told him there was no hope of reversing the pigmentation, and life was never easy for the man whose fame was skin deep.
People are rather reluctant to hire blue people or people that are noticeably different.
He's quite the guy, despite the fact that he's blue.
That's Karason's wife, Joanne. Karason died of a heart attack and a stroke in a Washington hospital on Monday.
There you have it. That's exactly what happened to him. But this is the first case that I've ever seen. But BigFlip is sharing some things with me right now. So let's read that. Okay. He says, the Fugates, a family living in the hills of Kentucky, starting in the 19th century, were commonly known as the Blue Fugates, or the Blue People of Kentucky. When I was looking at this video, I did come across that video as well. I didn't look at it, but I will check it out. He also writes, they are known for being carriers of a genetic trait that led to blood disorder. Methemoglobinemia causes the skin to appear blue. Okay. And R3D states that it cured his flaky skin. And so that's there's that. Yeah, this is one of the things that he applied it to his skin because he had the appearance of flaky skin, and also he ingested it. As you saw, he did that with his first his fiance, but unfortunately, at the age his early 60s, he passed away of a heart attack. But it was unfortunate. The one thing that he shared, that it was hard finding employment, trying to find employment, trying to find a job. So that was kind of rare and kind of a misfortune because, number one, I'm sure because of his appearance. So it kind of backfired on him, and being that age, we cannot discount, because you know how certain jobs kind of discriminate on that sense of how old are you? What is your health? So they look at ageism in that sense that we can't discount as well. But being blue could be a setback as well. So that's the first time that I ever heard of anything like that. But thank you so much for sharing, BigFlip and R3D, about the other incidents. I did see the Fugates. I think I was going to pull that up, but I didn't download it, and that was why I didn't show it. Boom. He didn't pass away from prostate cancer either. True. That's a good point. He died of a heart attack, which could have came upon based off of his diet, age, stress. Being unable to work can cause a certain stress to your physical, mental. So it could have been that as well. We don't know. Natural causes. We got Great Scott in the house. Yo, y'all. He's in the house. Thanks for coming again. This is the second live stream that I had within a couple of hours, and Great Scott was there. Also, Brown Sugar was there earlier as well. So thank you for adding to the live stream. We had DimeBag Darren. Appreciate you coming in. Brown Sugar was in. We also had R3D. Appreciate you. BigFlip adding to the live stream as well. So I appreciate you. Now we got our friend Great Scott. Great Scott, I did get your email. So I'll be definitely getting at you. Okay, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and I'll be back as soon as it is over, okay? So give me a second, and we'll be right back to the program.
Take pride in your stack and wear it. Johnson Toe is an American craftsman who could take your favorite coin design and create art that you'd be very proud to wear, and something very special to share. JT Coin Rings, handcrafts, handmade jewelry, especially for you.
All right, I'm back. If you can hear me, put a number 1 in the chat. Okay, let me see what the comments were. Everyone saying hello. Hello. We got to think for yourself. Good morning to you. Good morning. Thank you for coming in. Think for yourself. Good. Everyone hears me. So I was just sharing the video. I was sharing the video of the blue man taking colloidal silver. BigFlip shared that he drank the silver every morning. The only difference between what BigFlip Coins do on a daily and what this gentleman did, what he didn't apply it to his skin. So that's the biggest difference, DimeBag Darren says number 1. Brown Sugar says 1. They can hear me loud and clear. Great. Oh, I have to change it. Okay, great. I know sometimes my voice change based off my set. So let me see. 1 second. Let me check my my soundboard. Headphones. Test the 1 2. Test the 1 2. Test the 1 2. Test the 1 2. Okay. Boom. All right, I'm back. Just have to make sure. Sometimes my soundboard clicks off because it's Bluetooth. But so that's what the main thing of this chat was. I wanted to share. That was pretty crazy. I never seen that in my life. I never seen anyone ingest it, and I never seen anyone put it on their skin and then turn blue. And it made me think about the Smurfs, number one, and because he had the beard. And number two, when I went to go see the Blue Man Group in New York some years ago, but they used paint, so that was pretty amazing. So this case that this gentleman had, is pretty rare, and I haven't seen too many cases. I'm going to check out the Fugates next. So think for yourself. So he's up pretty late. I'm up late tonight. I'm always up late. I get you. Oh, DimeBag Darren, CDN Coins and Tech says deaf now. Are you deaf? Did the horn? I'm sorry. Did the horn get you? Oh, earbuds. Oh, earbuds and bud. Say you reduce that volume. Got you. let me reduce that volume. All right, cool. How's that? I'm gonna bring it down to a nice, comfortable round of 70. We got Doug Harding inside the house. I didn't mean to make you deaf, DimeBag Darren. My apologies. I forget sometimes because I think that no one can actually hear me because my mic is not that close to my mic. But I forgot my speaker is right here as well. So yes, guys, this is my second live stream for tonight. I said my plan was to do a little bit more time. I have to make some rings later on today. And that's what I'm going to do. Make some rings. I'm going to finish up what I started in the earlier stream by making sure that I engrave the correct names inside, shine them up, clean them, and I can send them out Monday or Tuesday. So that's my plans. DimeBag Darren, CDN Coins and Tech says voice is awesome, but horn needs warning, especially this early in the morning. I understand. Oh man. So think for yourself says I get out of YouTube jail sometime today. Got a strike last week for telling the truth. Wow. Sorry to hear that. But you know what? When you tell the truth, some people try to close you off because they don't want that truth to be out. So you know how people want to keep the masses as sheep. So keep telling your truth. Yes, DimeBag Darren says the horn sound goes direct. Yes, it does. And I have like maybe 7 to 10 other sounds on my soundboard, but at times because it goes in and out, so the horn is the first button I kind of hit, and that's why it goes. I don't think about it until the last minute, until my youngest daughter comes downstairs and like, Daddy, what are you doing? It's like 4 a.m. So what are you doing? You got to be gentle with Darren. He's Canadian. Doug said it. You know what I'm saying? R33 said, I'm ready, Def. So I was good. Yeah. But yeah, I'll be more careful on that horn. Because these are pretty loud. Let me see. Let me do a test. That right there was the round of applause. And when I make a mistake tonight, I'll hit the horn. Okay, so it's much lower. Definitely much lower. We got 7 people inside the chat. 30-minute stream in. So what are your plans for today? Hopefully, Think for Yourself will get out of YouTube jail. You know, these strikes come fast. YouTube is not playing. They will give you a strike fast. Fast. You got to be careful on these YouTube streets. They did not play. So you have to the content. But hey, that's your channel. You never strayed from telling the truth. So hey, we kind of used to it. I like watching your videos. Boom. Think for Yourself says I have 4 strikes so far. Oh wow. Oh wow. You know what I'm saying? And no, in baseball, 3 strikes, you're out. You got 4 on the channel. What is the details on that? You know, I know that I have some copyright strikes here and there by sharing, using content, using music, or are they called strikes? I think they call something else. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what they call, but they don't. They said it doesn't affect the channel. But hey, so did they stop you from making the videos, or do you just chilling for a second to regroup to come back out? Copyright claims. There you go. Boom. That's what I received, some copyright claims for some videos I did, especially when I talked about coins, maybe The Simpsons, and I added in some pictures of Bart Simpson and whatever. They got me. Think for Yourself states that I'm collecting strikes. After 90 days, they drop off. Then it's basically considered 1 strike for separate time. Okay, got you. Okay, you're already a professional with this. You know what's going on. DimeBag Darren says I get them all the time. Copyright strikes, yeah. I've gotten a couple. As everyone know, some people's goal is not the same, but my goal is to monetize this platform. Just because I started it, it's not important to some, but I want to get that done, and then I can move on to my other content, my book clubs, and other things that I do that I want to base up on. What he says, claims. Get used to saying claims. Got you. Claims. Copyright claims. Got you. I got it. You say here, strikes are always bad. There are good, but they are no good strikes. Okay, that's true. I know that they usually people want you to stop using their content. They send over those strikes. I hear other content creators talk about that. It says, what does a copyright strike do? Are you still allowed to upload, or do you get shut down for a week? No. With my experience, the copyright claims is that if I was monetized, I would not be able to make money off that video. So whatever money I make from that video, if it's music that I use, or maybe any photos or video, that money would go to that creator. So DimeBag Darren says, look, man, they're claiming your revenue on that video. Yep. Yeah, they claiming that video. That's what's happening. And since I'm not monetized, I used it. It wasn't no big deal. But in my quest to get monetized, I'll be more careful. You know, I'm just looking for the ad revenue, any residual income, anything that comes on a monthly basis is welcome in my house, right? I do the videos for free now, so it's no big deal. But I believe in having my different platforms working and moving, you know, having a small business. That's all I want to do. Copyright claims. That's what it is. Yeah. So tell me what you guys are doing today. This is going to be this is a Sunday. What are you doing today? What are your plans? Football games, time with the family. I'm going to spend some time with my baby girl, my youngest daughter, and go over to see a friend that I haven't seen in about going on 1 year, 1 year and a half. So I'm going to spend some time over his house, put some chicken on the barbecue, and probably sit down and chat and catch up. You know, passive income comes in handy. Yes. And no matter where it comes, you know, when I started this channel, I never even thought about it. But as year 2, year 3 in doing coin rings, I said, why not? And as I make videos, if it make me $200 a month, if I'm lucky, I'll put that in the retirement fund. You know what I'm saying? So it's all beneficial. You know, it's all beneficial. But here we go. We got think for yourself. Yes, I love the video you did with your daughter. That was awesome, my friend. Thank you so much. Matter of fact, me and my daughter, Princess Stacker, that was her name. My daughter's name was Princess Stacker because we forgot. We're like, what was your stacking name? It was Princess Stacker. And she would share every month, you know, we did a video or we collect silver. I would buy her a piece of silver to put in her stack. For her birthday, we buy a 1/10 gold coin for her birthday. But for any other month, we would buy silver to put in her stack. So at that time, I think we were stacking the Marvel series or any Mickey Mouse or any Charlie Brown round we would put inside there, and she would do a video, little Princess Stacker. So she's now 9 years old. So I want to know if she's still interested in doing any videos. We got DimeBag Darren that says that is why we have more than one channel. One is more serious, the other a hobby and possible demonetization. Yeah, which makes perfect sense, Darren. It makes perfect sense because like this one here, I totally focus on my coin rings. My other ones is about books that I read. When we talk about particular topics, that's on someone else's channel. And every Sunday, starting in February, we'll do it again, start up again. And we talk about different topics in that one there. On this one here, I do want monetized because I focus all of my videos on my coin rings and anything that talks about precious metals. Think for yourself. You need to do more videos with your daughter. Point taken. I'm definitely going to do something. Like I said, we talked about it yesterday. At the end of the live stream, she came in and we would, she's like, no, she likes it. My daughter loves being in the spotlight. She loves doing videos. She's a little girl with a lot of personality. A lot of personality. DimeBag Darren states that you open a second channel of your own and simulcast the other video on your channel. So yeah, I can do that, especially with this platform of StreamYard. You are allowed to do multiple channels at the same time, live stream. But if I have two to three other channels. One is called Rebuilding JT, and on that channel, I'm talking about daily events. I'm talking about me getting back and healthy lifestyle and other topics. But I left that channel alone for a while so I can rebuild this one. Yeah. Think for Yourself says, I didn't know you had a second channel. Are you talking about DimeBag Darren or are you talking about me? But yes, I have 2 other channels. Well, one was with Eli. Me and Eli would do some like present day situations. Like we talk about what's happening in the news and music, what's happening in the news just every day. But we stopped doing that because he started focusing on TikTok. So he's doing that. And then my time changed. So I started focusing on the book club. And me and Fred Gars want to do some books on here as well. I'm gonna orchestrate the time, and we probably do the first book. We probably do The Richest Man in Babylon. I think that's what we agreed on, but we're going to talk about it in more detail. DimeBag Darren says, I'm a StreamYard chill. And Think for Yourself was talking about me. Yep. Well, that's what I have a second channel. And it's like not much content is on there. I think the channel probably have like 20 videos. And they're just like up in the air because I didn't really have the time to develop it. I just wanted to start it. But as my focus shift back on this channel, I let that sit dormant for a while, and I'll rebuild it once I meet my goal here. Yeah, so that's what my plans are. But that's the biggest thing. It's about building different platforms. For me, it's a hobby. It's definitely a hobby. But I make a lot of my passive income from this channel, which keeps me from going to other platforms like other work, part-time work, because my coin rings is what I do as a home business. Think for Yourself. You should talk about flat Earth. If I knew about flat Earth, I don't really know much about the subject, tell you the truth. I've heard the debates. I've heard other content creators mention it, but I don't know much about it to talk about it intelligently. So I would have to study both sides to look exactly what I could add to that conversation. One thing I would do, I wouldn't mind having people come on and talk about it to give me like 3 points from each side so we can kind of learn from it and or tell certain share new information, share research. Also, I know that majority take it from research on that end. Some people say, I take this from the scriptures, from the Bible, from the word. So I like to hear the healthy conversation because from that and from those points and from those references, that's how we learn, right? So yeah, I would do it that way, but I have not studied it enough to have a conversation on it. I find it interesting because I like, oh, didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that. And it helps me to go learn some more. So yeah. Boom. Think for Yourself says there's so much truth that's been hidden from us. You're absolutely right. So much truth. So many things that have been hidden because once again, to keep us in a certain direction away from the truth because people will rise up. And once we know fallacy to be such, change comes, and if you're not willing to deal with that change as a whole, the government, this world, you got to control the people in order to keep them at a certain mindset. So yeah, so much truth is hidden from us. So I definitely would like to hear it. Think for Yourself says, have you ever heard me talk about the flat earth? You mentioned it one time under a post. I think I talked about gold being found in an asteroid. And if that asteroid hit Earth, it has a possibility to make gold almost worthless. And the comment that you made under that post was like, that's bogus. It's no way. And based off because we never been out of space, and that theory it's not proven. So I remember it was some time ago, several topics ago. Think for yourself. So I've made several videos on that topic. I will have to check it out. Do you have it do you have it open on your channel for them to be viewed? Or are those videos on private? Because I would like to check them out to hear your thoughts on it and your talking points on that. But no, I have to answer your question. I have not seen your videos on it, but I do remember the comment that I mentioned. Think for yourself. There's none up. I'm at the moment. Okay. Yeah, I'm a curious now because I will check out some videos from content creators to check it out to kind of get the talking points. I remember that it was an entertainer. His name was B.O.B. B.O.B. is a hip hop artist who came out in the early 2000s, and he went up against Neil deGrasse Tyson, and they talked about the theory of flat Earth, and I remember that was a heated debate, and so many words were shared, so many thoughts and ideas were shared, but nothing came to a conclusion. So I was kind of like, I learned something, but I didn't learn anything because no one said, okay, this is where I can find this. This is where you can find that. It was so much. I love talks that talks about things I can find, because we got to go back and study once we learn it. You have to go back to study. I guess it's the science part of me, that we have to see the research and study it so I can know what you're talking about. And I can also understand the other part as well. So think for yourself says I also talk about the pre-flood world and the Nephilim giants. I think I heard that before from you. I cannot remember, but I remember hearing. But don't hold me. If not you, I may have heard from another content creator, which is interesting in itself. So yeah, so many things that we can discuss, and there's an audience for it all. But I am not well versed in it to hold a conversation, but I can listen. I can listen, and that's how I soak up the information: listening, going back to read the research, and then I can have a discussion with it at a later time. We can discuss it, but I'm gonna look up that information on the flat Earth, also pre-flood world. These are topics, I went to college and I graduated biology, and like I said, I've been in the lab for about 14, 15 years. I study a lot of things. I love history. I study a lot of things about Egypt because my family is West Africa. I study a lot of things about Africa. I study a lot of things about America. I love history in the sense, economics, the economy, the banking. I'm learning as I go, but my mantra is that I'm still learning. We have Think for Yourself says the North Pole is actually the center of the earth. Mount Zion is located at the center of the earth, and this magnet mountain is also the starting point of the 4 rivers of Eden. Did not know that. Get ready for the horn. Think for yourself is dropping jewels. Dropping jewels. I made sure that before I hit the horn, guess what? I gave a fair warning. So let me read that again. The North Pole is actually the center of the Earth. Mount Zion is located at the center of the Earth and is a magnetic mountain. It also the starting point of the 4 rivers of Eden. Okay? I never heard the information before. Interesting, very interesting. I never heard that the North Pole was the center of the Earth, and I never heard about anything called a magnetic mountain. But the center of the Earth would have that gravitational, that pull being in the center. Also, it's the starting point of 4 rivers of Eden. First time me hearing this information. If anyone else in the chat has heard this before, put a 1 in the chat because I like to, get some more dialogue. Think for yourself says the ancient maps actually saw this mountain and the 4 rivers. Okay. Once again, I would love to pull the information up so I can add to this conversation. But for right now, I cannot add to this conversation. It's not my study of expertise. So as you're talking, I'm learning, I'm sharing. Think for yourself. The ColAuctioneer, the 4 rivers of Eden lead to Eden itself. Okay, which is a biblical location, which is the Garden of Eden, I presume. The deep ocean trenches are actually the 4 rivers of Eden. There are still flowing water. Well, I'm telling you, the information is coming out. The information is here. So ColAuctioneer, thank you so much for adding that in. The 4 rivers of Eden lead to Eden itself. Think for yourself, added in that the deep ocean trenches are actually the 4 rivers of Eden. There are still flowing water. Wow. And ColAuctioneer added on as confirmation. There you go. Okay, so information is so wonderful to hear different information. Because as I said, I am not privy to it. I have not studied it. But I'm always glad to learn, to hear new things and something else to study. You know what I'm saying? So the next thing is, let me know where I can get more of this information from. Is there a particular book, particular content creator, channel that discuss this in detail that I can get an overall understanding of it? All right, let's see what they say. Think for yourself states that the Garden of Eden is located near the Philippines. The Garden of Eden is now under the ocean. That's where Enoch is. It's to this very day. Then the ColAuctioneer states, how old is the earth? We're just here for a blink of an eye. Great point. Great point. How old is the earth? We can study civilizations. We want to study land masses, rocks. We see how long we've been based off of structures. But how old is the earth? It's a good question. Good question. Something I would have to ask. Let's see. Now, Think for Yourself states that before I went to Google to ask that general question, Think for Yourself states that the Earth is nearly 7,000 years old. It's roughly 104 years away from being 7,000 years old. Now, the Earth is 7,000 years old. So if you state this goes away from anything that we learned about prehistoric, about remains from dinosaurs, fossils, and everything. So the Earth is only 7,000 years old. So is that true? That totally discredits remove away anything that states about prehistoric creatures of any sort. Think for yourself. I want to know, because then that's where the conversation starts for me. Like, exactly, if that is not the case, if that wasn't true, and the Earth is 7,000 years old, then I would definitely love to see that information. That's true. So that is true. Because if anything, based off of information that we study, as you see, truth is hidden from us. Truth is hidden from us. So there's no way that the Earth is 4.5 billion years old. So it says the Earth is estimated to be 4.5 billion years old, plus or minus 50 million years. Scientists have scoured the Earth, searching for the oldest rocks to date in northwestern Canada, and discovered rocks about 4.3 billion years old. That does not exist. That's not the case. ColAuctioneer states that a lot of civilizations come and go. So easy to lose history. And Think for Yourself states that the prehistoric creatures are actually the Nephilim hybrids that were destroyed at the time of the flood and covered in mud and slides. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. Okay, now I'm getting some information, because the prehistoric creatures were basically the giants that were covered from the flood. So now, from the information that you gave out earlier about the floods, now I can see, okay, how things are coming together. Now, this is good. So how old is the Earth based on the Bible? Okay. And this is what Think for Yourself, I'm sure, is coming from. Concerning the age of the Earth, the Bible genealogical records combined with Genesis 1 account of creation are used to estimate an age of Earth and universe of about 6,000 years. You said 7,000 years. So with a bit of uncertainty of the completeness of the genealogical records, allowing for a few thousand years or more. So anything from 6,000 to 7,000 years. Okay, boom. Think for Yourself states that they were corrupting all flesh, both human and animals. See, this is what I love. I love hearing the information, because I'll be saying, for a person who comes from science, which I'm looking at based off the information I have here in front of me, and we're looking at the Christian, how old the Earth is based on the Bible. So now I understand the two thoughts. And I come from a science base, and also I am a Christian. So I see here. So how does scientists calculate the age of the Earth? So we see some discrepancy there. Now, to be more clear, we were corrupting all flesh, both human and animals. Thus, the world had to be destroyed, corrupting all flesh, both human and animals, based off that that act. Think for yourself. I'm trying to understand that statement. Trying to understand that statement. Okay, base. He came back with me and says that think for yourself states that the 200 watchers did this. They're now chained in the utter darkness deep with the earth until the 70 generations of this earth age till judgment. Go straight to R3D. Lots of claims. Carbon dating is not only wrong, but deliberately wrong. Personally, I have no idea. And this is the thing about it. I always say, like, this is a little off the subject, and I'm gonna come right back to it. And I'm gonna come back to think for yourself. Thank you for that comment, R3D. I always look at it like this. When people say, oh, I got to eat this way, I got to eat this way is the best way for me because it does something for the body. I always ask, what tests have you done? What gives you that data? What has been, challenged? Has it been do a rigorous research? Because that from that information that you gain from that research, it should tell you exactly what you're inputting in your body. Now, I say all that to say is that what R3D just stated, that lots of claims of carbon dating is not only wrong, but deliberately wrong. And this just goes in line with what Think for Yourself just mentioned about how truth is held from us. Personally, I have no idea. And the thing when I say personally don't have no idea, what R3D stated is that, like, how do we know? Are we trained in doing those tests, the carbon test? This and what went wrong with the testing? What makes it wrong? Think for Yourself just mentioned the Book of Jubulees, which I would definitely read that. The Book of Jubulees, and that will explain what he's been sharing. So I would definitely read that. I'm going to do my little screenshot. And when me and my daughter study, we'll look that up. All right, thanks for that information. So that was a comment that I wanted to do, R3D, is that the carbon dating, because this is what they use when archaeologists look up rocks, study the age of them in certain areas to know how old this earth supposedly is. And Think for Yourself is saying that from the Book of Jubilees, this story, the 200 Watchers, and also understanding the flood, understanding what the giants really were. I do remember the land of giants in the scriptures, not in great detail. And that tells you that I need to do some more reading on that. I may be missing some jewels in that as well. But what I got thus far is enough. It's definitely a lot for me to go back to read and to have some discussion with. This is pretty exciting on my part. And I thank everybody for adding in their statement because it's helping me out. And one thing I love is Think for Yourself is that with this information, it allows us to filter it, to learn from it, to do our research so we can be diligent and be correct. And that's about thinking for yourself with the information that we have in front of us. So I definitely like the fact that you're showing where you got the information from. It allows me to go read, and then also understanding about the carbon dating. I'm going to look some information about that as well, because carbon dating is very important, because that is a claim that archaeologists and those who study the rocks and everything say that the Earth is 4.5 billion years old, based off of the study of the findings, the study of continents. So I want to see, because it's all interesting to me. Think for Yourself states that also the Book of Enoch is the first book ever written. Enoch was the first human to learn to read and write. He is called the scribe of judgment. He is still alive and on earth today. Now, this right here deserves the horn. I didn't give you fair warning of the horn. My apologies. This is right here is a game changer for me, because I never, ever, ever heard of his existence still today. Now, think for yourself. The Book of Enoch is the first book ever written. Enoch was the first human to learn to read and write. He is called the scribe of judgment. He is still alive and on earth today. So, let me look this up. If you want to share any more information, please share it and I'll read it. Anyone wants to add to that? Because I want to look something up before I say it. Make sure I'm right. Be sure I can mark the source, scribe judgment in Egypt. And you let me know what you think about this. Okay, they don't have it. That's not what I thought. I'm gonna leave that to myself because I can't find the source. I can't find the source because what I just pulled up, I must ask the raw question. So I'm gonna leave that one out. Let me go back to Think for Yourself. He put something else up. He's in the Garden of Eden and he's still writing. He's writing down the condemnation of mankind. Okay. Look that up, Enoch. Getting early morning Bible study, Enoch. That's interesting. You know what? Enoch. Let me look it up. If he human. Now, a question here. This is a good question. Think for yourself. If he is human, how is he living in the ocean? Now, is he human? Is he in human form? Because this is interesting. Humans have limitations based off what we understand what humans are, understanding senses, understanding we're talking about respiration and water. You're talking about living conditions. What is Enoch? Who is Enoch? What form is Enoch? This is a lot of things. I'm just asking honest questions. And R3D asked a question because he want to know as well. I am interested, Enoch, in the Bible. So let me see if I can pull some information up to help me understand what I don't understand right now. Okay, so Enoch is the biblical figure and patriarch prior to Noah's flood, and the son of Jared, and the father of Methuselah. he was of the antediluvian period of the Hebrew Bible. The text of the book of Genesis says Enoch lived 365 years before he was taken by God. This is based off what Wikipedia states. So let's go for think for yourself and see what he adds on to. All right. Think for yourself says the Garden of Eden is underwater. However, it is an enclosed environment. The Garden of Eden has its own ecosystem. It's God's holy of holies. Enoch is a human. Okay. So based off this, it says the text of the book of Genesis says that Enoch lived 365 years before he was taken by God. So was he taken by God and put into the Garden of Eden, which is underwater and has its own ecosystem. So is that where God has taken him? Or when it said when God has taken him, did Enoch die after 365 years? Let's go here. Enoch is the seventh patriarch of the book of Genesis. He was a subject of abundant apocalyptic literature, especially during the Hellenistic period of Judaism. 3rd century BC, was first revered only his piety. He was later believed to be the recipient of the secret knowledge from God. Okay, that's what I got so far. Let me read this here. He was taken by God and put in the Garden of Eden. Okay, got you. Okay, that's what I came to from what you stated by saying that he was taken 365 years on earth. He was taken by God, placed in the Garden of Eden, which is underwater. The Garden of Eden is its own ecosystem, holy of holies, and that's where Enoch resides. God said that Enoch would never die. Okay. Okay. Now, why was the book of Enoch? It says why the book of Enoch was removed from the Bible. 200 that the book of Enoch had been rejected by the Jews because it contained prophecies pertaining to Christ. This is something I know. This is what I'm getting from my studies on I'm looking up on Google. Like I said, this is all new to me. I never had this deep of a conversation about Enoch. Well, I'll be looking this up because now that it's on this live stream, it will be here for a minute. And it's going to be here for conversation. So R3D, how do you feel about the information? Does that answer your question? The think for yourself provided? What do you think about that? What are your thoughts? Do you have any thoughts? Think for yourself. Thank you so much for adding in the context for your discussion points. I appreciate that. Because it's a conversation for early morning conversation, 4:21 in the morning here in Baltimore. Think for yourself added. The book of Enoch was removed because it debunks all the lies we have been told. Enoch debunks everything, including the spinning ball of earth. This goes a little deeper because if it was removed, what we think about the earth rotating around the sun, now I understand how this here could be also the main talking points of the flat earth. Okay. I mean, I learned he, a bubble boy, I guess. I guess meaning being in a ecosystem protected from the element. And I guess that's what you mean, R3D. Now I understand how everything comes into play. What you're sharing with me, thank for yourself. And thank you for that comment, R3D. I'm going to finally get your name correct. R3D. Every time I see it, I think about R3D2. You know what I'm saying? From Star Wars. So I got to remember R3D. So what I'm getting, think for yourself, is this is now the point that I've been missing when we talk about the flat earth. Because what was shared with me before is that at the end of the earth, everything's flat. All the talks about the stars are talking about leaving the atmosphere. It's never been proven. Those talking points are not real compared to those who believe in flat earth. So if the center of the earth is in the North Pole, the magnetic mountains, the Garden of Eden being under. So only thing that's above there would be the heavens. Okay. Think for yourself mentions. It's enclosed with its own ecosystem, which I taken from the context. There's only one entrance in, and it's guarded by cherubs. Okay. Okay. Oh, you know what? I never even, now that you said red, now I can see it. It's RED. You know what I'm saying? Or the 3 backwards. I got you. Red is fine if you rather. That would be easier for me because it's like a tongue twister right now. It's like a little tongue twister. Got you. Red. But think for yourself. Thank you for that. Now I understand. For myself, I understand. It's enclosed with its own ecosystem. There's only one entrance in, and it's guarded by the cherubs. Okay. Think for yourself also adds. The end of the earth is the dome wall. There's a dome above our heads in which the sun, moon, and stars are inside. And the move around us, there are 12 portals in which the sun passes through. See, this right here is some stuff about that I never even took time to study, never had a discussion about. So, this is the first time that I'm hearing it. Don't know what to think about it 100% because, like I said, I don't have anything. Only thing I have to compare it to is what I've heard all my life. Then, secondly, what I put thought to throughout my life. And I cannot honestly say that I put that much thought that I heard these stories before, heard this information for me to even think about it, to ponder on it, right? So this is all new to me. But I take it in, and it helps me to understand it. So when I ask questions, I put it in context. When I get your information, I put it in context, which helps me to remember it and gives me an idea of what to study and remember the talking points. Think for yourself states. The sun slows down and speeds up as it passes through these 12 portals and repositions. Okay. Okay. Is this all in the book of Jubilees, the book of Enoch? Where is the information about the sun that slows down and the 12 portals? Is this in the Bible? Think for yourself. Yeah, I would like to get the source. Because now that I see information about Enoch, Think for Yourself shares a very complex system. It's in the book of Enoch. Wow. So I'm definitely going to check information out. I do have in front of me, what does God say about the book of Enoch? What can we learn from Enoch in the Bible? What was God's promise to Enoch? What did God do to Enoch? And what did Enoch see in heaven? Red asks the question that I'm sharing right now on the screen. And think for yourself, what religion are you? Or what religion do you study? Or what religion do you believe? I'm a follower of Yahshua. There you have it. That's the answer. Study of Yahshua. As Jay was not there in creation, so study of Yahshua, as the Greeks called him, Jesus. But Yahshua, because of the language of Hebrew, and Red asked the question, so Christianity per se. And so if I was correct, yes, to make sure I'm on point. If I'm not, please correct me in the comments. So that's what it says. Interesting conversation. Interesting conversation. So basically, from the information that was shared, we talked about Enoch. We talked about the book of Jubilees. We talked about the Nephilim, the Garden of Eden. We talked about the center of the earth, magnetic mountains. So much I have to go back and read up on. Think for Yourself states that Enoch saw God's throne. He sits upon the dome. God's throne radiating emerald green. The northern light is God's throne, radiating from his throne. Okay, did I read that right? Okay. All right, so think for yourself. I don't know if you saw the question by Red. Is what you believe Christianity per se? So this is what Enoch saw in the heavens. Is that right? So what did Enoch see in heaven? In the seventh heaven, Enoch, now guided by Gabriel, which is one of the angels, is allowed to enter to see the Lord on his throne, face to face, but only from a distance. This is where the legions of God's angels live, in a beautiful light. So think for yourself and share that, showing that the light was emerald, radiating emerald green. The northern lights is God's throne, radiating from his throne. So basically, this is what I read here as I Googled it. What did Enoch see in heaven? Think for yourself, share it right here. So that's what Enoch saw when he went to the heavens. Yeah. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. I'm here for it all. Anything that I can learn from, talking points, information, research, things I can find to study for myself, to have the talk points. I do not, when people share talking points with me, with anything, when people share talking points with me, I take it in, process it. I'm not a person who goes clapping back, yelling, screaming through it. I try my best not to do that, especially if I'm learning. I'm gonna sit back and listen and take in what I get, and then once I learn more about it, we have a discussion. Yahweh is a follower of God, or Yahweh. My Zion is a direct portal to God's throne. Mount Zion is a Mount Zion, or Mount Zion is the direct portal to God's throne. Enoch first traveled to Mount Zion. From there, he was caught up. Okay. Interesting. So let me see here. Up to Enoch. Who are the fallen angels in the Book of Enoch? So the Book of Enoch talks about the fallen angels. They talk about also the third book of Enoch, the Hebrew Enoch, or 3 Enoch. This is a book of rabbinic text, originally written in Hebrew. Okay, that's why the terms are used that Think for Yourself is stating, dated to the 5th century. Some experts believe it was written by Rabbi Ishmael, a secondary century CE, familiar with both 1 Enoch and the second book of Enoch. So Enoch saw the entire earth, all of it. Okay. If he's seen the entire earth, this once again takes me to the flat earth. To see the entire earth, he had to be at a particular point to see it completely, flat from end to end. Unable to do that if it was a globe. So once again, this is the talking point of the flat earth theory. Only the first book of Enoch is valid. The others are frauds. Thank you. Horn again. So now, as I'm looking at this, I see one book of Enoch and the second book of Enoch. So only the first book of Enoch is valid. The others are frauds. Is it a fraud based off who they say that it's written by? Ishmael, Rabbi Ishmael? Or, let me see, including the Ethiopian's Book of Enoch. Okay, so I see that the first book, it's so much to study that I don't want to pull up things here. I don't want to pull up things here because I don't know what I'm pulling up. This is kind of interesting. This is kind of interesting because I stumbled across something I did not know. But I'm gonna screenshot it and share this because I don't want to go in this conversation. I don't want to talk about this in this stream right here because I want to keep it on this. All right, so this is some clarification to think for yourself. No, God took them to all these places on earth. Okay. And think for yourself also shared. Those books were created later to try to discredit the first book. Okay. So any book after the first book of Enoch, you said were written to discredit. And why? And what were they trying to discredit? What did the other books point out that would discredit the first book of Enoch? Yeah. What is that? Which points are they trying to discredit? And were these books written, and who wrote the books? Okay, this is interesting. This is pretty interesting. All right, so think for yourself is definitely giving us some to think about. If not, those in the chat, definitely me. First time that I heard this information, but it helps me to understand flat Earth a lot better. It helps me to understand the Book of Enoch, which I never read. Giving me this information on it, so I can have a better understanding. Okay, think for yourself states here. Because the Book of Enoch reveals all the lies that Satan is telling the world today. Got you. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so I'm from the thought, in order for me to know, to understand the talking points, do you suggest I read Enoch, the first book of Enoch, and the other books, so I can see the information? Because I like to know exactly what they're trying to disprove, who wrote it, to understand that. I don't want to read one book. I want to have an understanding of it all. Think for yourself shares. No one truly knows who wrote these others books, but they're certainly not sound doctrine because they basically contradict the first. Cool. Doug, thank you so much for coming in, man. I appreciate you. Once again, spending some time in the chat. Thanks for coming in, listening to the stream that I shared about the Blue Man. And thank you for staying to hear the conversation we're discussing now. Look for me to do another live stream, maybe tonight. If not tonight, definitely throughout the week. I will have a giveaway throughout the week. I'm looking to give a silver quarter away. So look out for that as well, okay? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, man. If you didn't do it, hit the like button on your way out. And if you have time throughout the day, come back and leave a comment under this live stream, because that also helps get one more view, and which helps the algorithm. So I appreciate that. I want to go back to the comment that Think for Yourself left, because it makes a good point. No one truly knows who wrote these other books, but they're certainly not sound doctrine because they basically contradict the first. Think for yourself. The book of First Enoch is actually quoted in the book of Jude in the Bible. Thank you. Okay. Awesome. The book of First Enoch is actually quoted in the book of Jude in the Bible. I'll check that out. Doug Harding states, Night, I'm going to play your playlist tonight. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. So watch out for the horns. I appreciate you for doing that. That right there helps with watch time hours. You're asleep. So why not? Just put it down on low and allow it to play. We got episodes of Silver Talk. You have episodes of Let's Chat. That's about an hour each episode. They all will help. All will help. So I appreciate that. Have a good night, my friend. And I'll see you next live stream. Oh, and please let me know if the gentleman received his ring. I did mail it out this week, and I did send you also the tracking number. So please let me know if he received it out, because I don't have his email information yet. I think you would have it. And just to let me know if the ring fits. And if it doesn't fit, he can send it back and I can resize it for him. Okay? But thank you so much for that business. I appreciate it. Have a good night, Doug. Think for yourself. To read that point again. The book of First Enoch is actually quoted in the book of Jude in the Bible. I'm running down. Cool. Think for yourself says, I really enjoyed chatting with you, my friend. I hope you research what I've been talking about. Love you, my friend. I love you too. Thank you so much for the continual support and also sharing this information. I always like to do a recap because I love to let people know that I'm listening. We talked about the North Pole being the center of the earth. We talked about magnetic mountains. We talked about Enoch. We talked about the Nephilim, the giants. We talked about the floods. We discussed also about the earth being 7,000 years old based off the Bible. So we discussed a lot in this frame. And because I have it on live stream, and also I have a screenshot of the 3 things I want to look at, I'm going to study that. Also, we talked about the book of Jubilees, which I'm going to look at as well. Also, the book of Jude, because it mentions the first book of Enoch. So that's what we discussed tonight based off this biblical study. We had Red, who made comments. We had Think for Yourself, Doug being in the house. All right, Doug, you said you're going to check tomorrow on Corner Around. Please, thank you. And let me know. And if you have any questions, please give him my email so I can talk to him about if he needs to change it, the ring size of any. And once again, thank you. We had brown sugar inside the house. ColAuctioneer adding some input, and I appreciate that as well. We had DimeBag Darren in the house. Appreciate that for coming in and adding to the stream. Who else do we have here tonight? We had Great Scott. Great Scott had entered into the chat earlier as well. We had Brown Sugar came in. We had BigFlip Coins who came in as well. Once again, we had DimeBag Darren. Appreciate your presence inside the stream. Think for yourself. Thank you so much for the lesson, for everything that you shared tonight. Red or R3D, thank you so much for coming in. And we'll end with this comment we have here. Good night, my friend. I hope people watch this stream and hear this information we talk about tonight. Yes, I hope so too, because all information is good information, especially if you learn something new. So thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, sharing your information, and sharing the books that we can go back and to read so we can talk about it with our family, our friends, and also to we learn something new, and I appreciate that. So, guys, we've been on for an hour and 40 minutes. And if no one's coming up this early morning, which I doubt it because I'm sure everyone's in their PJs and everyone's trying to get some sleep, but I'll be here for a second to anybody want to come up for a second before we close for 2 minutes to talk, let me know. We got an hour and 40 minutes into this stream. So, time to discuss. But if you, I understand if you don't come up because I know people don't.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Not everybody got time for that, right? So what I'm going to do is check my sound once again. That's working, and let's start this commercial. And everybody want to come up, they'll come up.
Take pride in your stack and wear it. Johnson Toe is an American craftsman who could take your favorite coin design and create art that you'd be very proud to wear and something very special to share. JT Coin Rings, handcrafts, handmade jewelry, especially for you.
That right there was commercial was done by my friend Redhead Step Stacker. He did that commercial for me about over like 2 years ago, just out of the whim, being a friend of the channel. And his voice is definitely good for commercials, so I always appreciate it. I like playing it. I want to add some new rings to it because over the years, my rings got a lot better. So, but I want to keep his voice. So I'm going to be working on that real soon, making a new commercial. But I'm going to keep the voice of my friend Redhead Step Stacker on there. If there's no one coming up, I'd like to end the live stream. But I want to thank the 3 people still here. And I really appreciate it. Let's end with this comment here by Red. Red states that I just been listening to different perspectives while checking coins. I got my own views on things, but love hearing others. My thoughts exactly. I feel the same way. I love hearing different perspectives, especially when that individual shares where they get it from, because now you understand why they think the way they do. And they giving you some information so you can go back to read and study yourself, which I love. I love the fact that people give that information because I can go back and study with some new information, but I can't form anything of disbelief if I haven't put thought to it, if I haven't studied it myself. So, Red, I definitely agree with that. We got Great Scott in the house.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on? All right, 1 second. Let me. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Let me see. Put my sound on 1 second. Let me play my box. I got to fix my sound. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Okay, here. All right. All right. Say something, Scott. Okay.
Check 1 2 1 2.
Second. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna take you down for 1 second and let me put a commercial on and let me get my earphones.
Sounds good.
Okay. Put you down right here. And what I'm gonna do is play my a commercial real quick. This right here is a channel that's on YouTube. One of my favorite channels, a blind man, his wife, and their life. You want to check them out. And I'm going to go grab my headphones. Boom.
Hey everybody, I'm Corey the Blind Guy.
And I'm his wife, Laquita Marie.
Together we let you enter our life
Live.
every hump day, bang, bang, to Friday. That's Wednesday,
Thursday,
Friday at
11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And when you come to this channel, hey, K Business Podcast said that we are a self-improvement resource library, meaning we're bringing great information to you guys out there to help you to change your narrative of what you think it means to be normal when it comes to your health,
your business,
and your wealth. We do that in 1 hour where we have 2 fantastic giveaways. We have our plant-based treat, and of course, we have our fantastic guests.
All right, I got my headphones on now, so I should be able to hear Great Scott when he come back on. Let's do it like this. All right, Great Scott, say something.
Check 1 2 1 2.
There we go. I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate this. This is the first time I've seen something like this, man.
It's pretty wild, isn't it?
It's pretty wild, but you know what? Hey, I mean, I know, tigers are my favorite, one of my favorite animals, most definitely. Matter of fact, I just made a tiger round. I think you've seen that video. If you've seen it on my site, I made a tiger round maybe about 2 weeks ago. I poured it. So we would see here. He says that Green Man said he had it tough to get a job. Imagine how Great Scott feels looking like that.
Right?
Hey, I know that's right. I know that's right. Hey, it's hard to get a job out here, but you know he'd do a great job at a circus. You know what I'm saying? At a kid's party. These are places that he can go for employment. Because let me tell you something, that looks wonderful. Looks awesome with the beard and all.
Awesome. Cans.
Most stuff. So how you been?
Very well, thank you. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. You know, I'm on my mission to get my watch hours, and so my thing is, if I'm up, I'm usually up doing research, studying, or looking at YouTube. So I might as well stay up for about 2 hours and put some more time in, right? I had a good discussion. I'm glad that Think For Yourself came in and added some points. He definitely put it inside the chat. Let's read that. One night I'll come on a stream and we can discuss all this. It will be fun and informative, most definitely. And thanks for taking the time out this morning to come up and talk about it as well, because you didn't have to. You know, you could have kept all this information to yourself, but I love the fact that you took time out to share. You shared your sources, and for me, I know I learned from it because some of the things I have never heard. So I thank you for taking the time out to do it, my friend. Most definitely. Great Scott, so what's going on in your channel? I know we talked about it earlier. What's going on the channel?
Well, I'm just about to hit, actually I did hit 500, but apparently I got them too fast. So I got on YouTube's radar, and they came in and, you know, they took like 30 of them back.
Okay.
So, but I'm right there, you know. I tipped over the line. I'm sure I'll be there before too long.
Okay, great.
And,
awesome.
Just started doing a bunch more shorts.
I'm about to say, okay.
Those are great. You know, I had a couple that, you know, popped over 1,000. That was the first time for me as well. So, yeah.
Now, I say, how many shorts do you do a week?
Well, in the past, it was very random and sparse. But now, you know, I'm going to try to do at least 1, if not 2 a day, you know, Monday through Friday.
Smart. Now, if I can offer some unsolicited advice, this is what my friend Doug always told me. He says, hey, I'm going to offer you some advice. I know you didn't ask for them. I'm going to give it to you anyway. One thing that I learned was that whatever your audience, go into your YouTube studio and see what your audience watches. Okay, go to that and say, okay, the people who watch your channel watch this, this, and this, and that. Because what I did was I went to the Coin Channel 2, Eric Miller, who goes and talks about how rare coins cost so much. And what I did was a remix of that. And when I did that, that one video got over 500,000 views, and I gained almost 7,000 new subscribers from it.
Amazing.
So what advice I give is that whatever your subscribers watch, just see can you recreate that in your way, and then that would bring people who like that content to your page as well, and that will help your subscriber count. Because like I said, I gained over 5,000 people the first month from that short, and over the life of that short, from that I think got like 7,000. So what that made me do is another video that was similar to Chris, and it gave me some more. So I wouldn't have got to 10,000 subscribers if it wasn't for me doing that collaboration with his type of content. And even he came to my page and said, "Oh, good work, good video." So I was happy that he didn't say take it down,
Right.
But
No,
that really
good for everyone.
Yeah, it helped me, it helped him, because it gave him more eyes as well, and it definitely helped me out this year. So that's a word of advice, because YouTube will kind of give you subscribers and then take them away, because if that person didn't come on your channel fast enough to watch videos and stuff like that, YouTube kind of say, "Oh well, let's drop them off," and that does happen. I know that happened on my way to 1,000 subscribers. It happened a lot. I have them one day, maybe 2 days, and the next time I look, I see my countdown. So, but if you have any videos or anything you want to come up, please share it with me, and I'll put them on my tag, my community tags, and everything for you. Because and let me know when you having videos. I like to go. I'll be on your page to watch. You don't gotta do that. I'll come on your page to watch and make sure I help you watch what video, if any videos you put out in these shorts. I'll make sure I make a conscious effort to do that as well.
That's awesome. I appreciate it.
My YouTube rotations.
Right.
So what else is going on in your page that you want to share?
Well, actually, I made a short for Brown Sugar. We did a Secret Santa thing this year, and she got me to gift, and she sent me this beautiful amethyst. Wow. Right? Isn't that just amazing?
That's pretty.
And it's got two bases, so you can also lay it like this if you like.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah. It's a nice geode, amethyst geode, as well as this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But it's on the back as well.
Okay.
And the most amazing Christmas card I've ever got. You open it and it's like 3D, and it has LEDs that are changing the light colors. It has like a snowfall setting. It was just spectacular. I did some videos on it.
I gotta check that out. Way to go, Brown Sugar.
Man, she killed it.
Brown Sugar. Oh no, that's right. She is an awesome secret Santa. Okay, Brown Sugar. I didn't know you had that talent as well, all up in New York. And that sounds pretty good. That's pretty exciting. I love the hoodie. That hoodie is like I said, tigers are my favorite. So I definitely dig that. He says, "I'm Brown Sugar." Let me share what she just stated. Brown Sugar says, "I'm really glad you love them."
More than you know. Like seriously, I've hardly ever taken this thing off. Yeah, I just walk it, keep rolling with it, and everywhere I go, I get people looking at me like thumbs up.
Right. Let me tell you something. It's amazing. Like when you see you receive gifts, is one tell sign that you really enjoy it, because like I gotta put it back on. I gotta make sure it's clean, but I gotta put it back on because you appreciate, number one, the gesture, and then it's just like a very sentimental feeling when someone gives you something out of the blue, and you really appreciate it. This is one way that happens. I know that my sister gave me a gift, and I like, oh man, I gotta keep it on, and we kind of in turn give certain gifts that we know that we just love, you know.
Yeah.
And as Brown Sugar said, it's him. So basically, you know, this remind her of you, and she just said, hey, this is definitely something I know that he would love. So that's what's up. That's awesome. You know, I gotta check that video out though. Brown Sugar giving out good gifts. So
it was of me, you know, opening it, so you get to hear my excitement, you know, my thrill. Just you can tell.
Oh wow,
it was a huge impression.
I definitely gotta check it out. Definitely gotta check it out. So on your channel, you'll be doing more shorts. And
actually, you mentioned earlier that your tiger piece was a pour, and I didn't know if you poured or had ever thought about getting into it. I'm just now getting ready to start getting into it.
Okay.
I'm gonna start buying my equipment, and I've got some nice things that I'd like to get out there in my own artistic way.
Yeah, most definitely. I bought this maybe a year and a half ago, and I really only poured a couple pieces because it was hard to get silver, and I only really pour once I make either a mistake on something or I captured enough silver from making my rings, because it got kind of expensive to buy a lot of shot, you know, silver. You know, I was like, oh, this is expensive. So I kind of stopped it until I had at least about 3 ounces of silver accumulated. I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and pour this into this. And luckily, I got a sale for it. So I'll be doing another one because I do have a mold of my JT Coin Ring logo. So hopefully in the upcoming days, I'll be doing another video on that as well. But yeah, that's my goal. Did you happen to talk to the person who was in the chat talking about the coin ring?
They didn't get an email through to me, so hopefully, you know, they set a note aside, and I mean to, yeah.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure, because I know that y'all was communicating about that. That's pretty cool. Hoping that that goes through, because, like I said, one sure way to get these tools for a discounted price is when somebody's selling it, because they can be kind of expensive. But
absolutely.
Yeah,
they're all very expensive. I'm actually looking right now beside me here. I'll grab it. You know what that is.
Oh yeah, got the ring stretcher.
You used it earlier.
Yes. Matter of fact, I need me another one, because the one I have is kind of worn. I can start telling that the spleens on it are not.
I've heard it's good to get in there frequently and change out that grease in there. That can slow down the wearing process on these. But of course, you know that nothing lasts forever, and especially these low-cost ones from China. Durston, you know,
yeah,
of course,
that's
ideal,
true.
but they cost.
Yeah, that's something. That's I never thought about taking it apart. So you mean taking it apart and cleaning it?
A lot of people they do it straight from the factory. As soon as they get it, they'll open it up and they'll take out the grease because they feel it's a sub-quality grease, and put something in there, like maybe a marine grease or something that they have more trust in, and it can help to prolong it a little bit longer. Smoother action is always better. It won't stiffen up as much. Just be careful when you go to take it apart. There's that spring holding it together at the top.
Yeah.
So, maybe just do some research into people that have taken it apart, and you can probably see a video of breaking it down.
I'll do that. I'm looking at some videos to see if anyone's breaking one down, because I never thought about cleaning mine. I had mine since I've been starting doing rings, and
proper maintenance is key. And I was going to say, in your videos, I noticed I was going to ask you, do you use any kind of lubrication like coconut oil or anything to? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that helps to ease the stresses as well.
Okay.
Make
All right.
everything as quick as possible.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Let me reiterate that. I use coconut oil, but I use that on my Swedish wraps. Are you saying to use coconut oil on the spleens of the ring stretcher?
Oh, no. I was just talking about like you were saying in the Swedish wrap, or
Okay, yeah.
your ring sizer, or
Mhm.
I don't know if you have a dapping block, if you ever use that. That's
Yeah. Okay, got you. And that's another reason why I use the Peppy lube they give me as well when I reduce the size of the ring, depending on what side I use, the reeded side or the cut edge side. I kind of use the lube, but I definitely use coconut oil when I push it down the Swedish wrap and make it go down easier. So yeah, but most definitely we have R3D says that he got a bunch of silver contacts. I want to make something out of. Okay, now do you have a furnace, Great Scott?
not yet.
Not yet.
And I don't know if I'm going to go that route. I was thinking maybe starting off a little bit more guerrilla style, where I could, basically do it on the side of the road. I don't know if you've ever seen, American Silver Patriot. He basically does that. He drives a truck, and when he can, he just pulls off the side of the road and basically throws together. He has like a double or maybe even a triple flame, blowtorch. But man, he just gets it right there and pours it. He does the sand casting basically, and I think very often he does it like open, right? So he just does one flat side, gets it nice and flat, impressions it, and then does an open pour just with that one side. He doesn't do the top or anything. Just,
right. And what's the name of the channel again?
I want to say America Silver Patriot. No A on the beginning. Just start with MERICA.
Okay.
Silver Patriot.
Got you. Thank you for that information. I'm gonna check that out.
He travels with his wife on the road, so pretty cool guy. I've got some pours from him. Nice, basically in the shape of America with a American flag design on top of it.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna check that out. Thank you for. I'm gonna check that out. Make sure I look it up at the end of the stream. All right, Kay. Well, you want to got anything else you want to share before we part out?
No, just that I'll be hitting 500 soon and doing a nice celebration for it. I've already got someone donated a couple of ounces.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with the name Ghost Nancy T. Ghost Nancy T.
No, I don't. No, this first time I'm hearing Ghost Nancy.
She's in the silver, community quite a bit. She helps out a lot of channels too. She's very nice, sweet woman, and she's very smart, intelligent. She helps a lot of people out with Nightbot as well.
Okay.
That's what I do to try and help out the community anytime I can. Is Nightbot can be very intimidating, but it's really not. It's really very basic and simple. They just don't have a very friendly interface. It can kind of look complex, but it's really standard stuff. And the way it can help your channel is tremendous. It's a great free tool to have.
Well, I appreciate you offering that. I did get the email, and I've read it. So I thank you so much for that. I'm definitely. So is it a website that I have to go to, or something within the YouTube interface that I can go through?
Well, yeah, it's really kind of separate from YouTube, but it does actually have its own YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and search Nightbot, you will see a channel called Nightbot, and that's why when you see it in people's chat, it's they've moderated, they made a mod out of it.
Okay.
When you first sign up for Nightbot, it's not modded yet. So you have to copy the link and add it to your moderators. And that's like the hardest part that I've had in helping people out, is just getting them to copy the link correctly. It doesn't seem to want to paste very well where you have to put it in your moderators list
Mm-hmm.
when you do it that way. So the other day, someone hadn't modded their Nightbot, and I was like, "Hey, you need to mod your Nightbot," and he just did it right there in his chat. It was so much easier. It was like a light bulb went off. I was like, "Aha! Don't even have to deal with that. Just wait until the next time you stream, and
Right.
you just click on that person as soon as they say something." So basically, you would type in a command so that your Nightbot would speak up and say whatever you wanted it to, and then you can just click on it and make a moderator out of it.
Okay, I see it, and like I know Yankee Stacking puts it in his chat, and I've seen it in some other chats, but I never knew how it was done. But I appreciate that. I'm gonna give you a call. I'm sure I'm gonna still need assistance. I'm gonna watch a video so I can be at least I have some know-how, so I won't seem like an idiot when I
Well,
talk
no,
about it.
And again, I've already done all that, and to be honest, you'll get the most out of that video by having the quick knowledge that I can give you, because I can run you through the basics.
Okay.
And then you can always go out further and find like different commands and whatnot, because that can be a little bit difficult.
Okay.
Because there's different bots, like there's a Streamlabs bot, Stream Elements bot, and all that kind of stuff. And all of them they speak a little bit different language. You have to tweak them, a certain way or whatnot. But yeah, with Nightbot being free and available to anybody, it's a great basic way with tools that can just really help out every channel.
Okay. All right. Well, we got Brown Sugar 69 says that she's a great person, and she's talking about Ghost Nancy T.
Yeah.
So thanks for that, that confirmation there. Do Ghost Nancy T have a YouTube channel?
Absolutely. And it is that Ghost Nancy T, and then there's a little ghost symbol, after the T.
Okay, got you. Ghost Nancy T. I'll go check her out as well. Now, for your 500, you said you're doing a giveaway, right?
I was blown away. She donated 2 full ounces to be given away.
Okay.
I'm gonna give away a Walker, a Barber, 90% Kennedy, and I'm sure I'll be adding more stuff.
Yes,
So,
you can add a coin ring with that too. So once you hit it, just let me know whoever wins it, and I'll send it out to them.
Whoa!
Yeah. So when you do that, you can add a coin
Thank
ring.
you so much.
No problem at all. And you so that's I know other channels have done was just like say, hey, this person won. This is their ring size, and then from that information, I'll craft the ring. And then you let me know if you want me to send it to you. You can send it to them, or I can send it to them straightforward. So just let me know, and then I'll do that.
Will do. Thank you again.
No problem at all. I definitely look forward to seeing you hit that 500. And any way that I can help, just let me know.
Really, coming from someone that knows the hard work that's put into it. I mean, you see it today. It's no joke. Your hands get dirty. You're pushing those muscles. It's not a guaranteed thing. You got to keep an eye on the rim and make sure nothing. There's no micro cracks showing up that you got to stand down and keep it from splitting.
Yes.
And heating it up and remembering not to just grab it.
Right. It's something to it. And even though I've been doing it for a while, I'm still learning. And once in a blue moon, I go back to my favorite channels to get more stuff that I missed, even after doing it for this long, because there's so much to learn. And I'm sure when I start doing other techniques, I'm gonna have to do it all over again too. So I'm looking forward to it and look forward to learning more. You know what I'm saying?
That's life. I can tell we have a lot in common. It's more than just being born around the same time of year.
Yes, June 25th, the best time.
Right? No, I can just tell that you're very similar in me as far as being like an eternal student you're always wanting to learn and gather more knowledge, you know.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Well, you know, that's definitely the truth, because I always find myself drawn to new information and wanting to have an understanding of it. And if I don't know about it, I try my best to like be solid on it until I'm proficient in it. So I love hearing people talk about new things, because it kind of amps me up to, all right, now I got something to study, you know. So
Right, that's the spice of life, is the feeling of wonderment. You know, once you start to feel like you know everything and there's nothing more to really take in and absorb, that's when you stop growing, essentially.
right.
So yeah, and that's what we get an abundance of in life. Is there, you're never going to get it all. There's no way to know everything, you know. So we're always given plenty of stuff to be amazed by. And I know a lot of people get into a funk, you know, they get depressed. One of the best things that you can do to get out of that is to get outside and out in nature. It reminds you to open your eyes, look around you, and be amazed. Be amazed by all of this around us that has been given to us. It's
Right.
a true gift that we should appreciate, and that alone changes your chemistry to, you know, get you out
Facts.
of those funks.
Facts. That's absolutely facts. And I have to do more of that. I think I said it the last stream. I've been putting myself on hold for the last couple of years, not really, you know, doing things outside. And my youngest daughter always gets on me and, oh, Dad, you need to live. You need to get out. You look so sad. I said, I'm not sad. I'm really an introvert, and but I do enjoy my time alone. But I do realize that I need to get out to live more. So, you know, that's definitely something that I'm looking forward to doing. Um, Brown Sugar says she loved her. She really enjoyed. She loved hers. I think I made a ring for her as well. So thank you so much for that. Brown Sugar also say, like they say, we learn something new every day. Absolutely right. Especially when we open our minds and our ears and close this mouth enough to learn something new, take it in, and appreciate the lesson. So most definitely, I appreciate that. But Great Scott, I appreciate you, man, for coming up.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. And thank you for sharing, because I know it's early in the morning. And I'm like, oh, you know, I didn't expect anybody to come up, but I'm glad I gave the link and you had took the time out to share with us, you know, and make the
whenever you offer that to someone, maybe add in an extra 30 seconds, because people got to get stuff set up, you know, like they want to for streaming. And you know, as you said, you know, since no one's coming up, I was like, oh no, you know, I like scrambled a little bit quicker. I was like, I got to catch him before he clicks off. I'm glad you were still up, and thank you again.
Most definitely. I saw you in the back. I saw you in the green room. I said, okay, awesome, good. Thank you so much. It adds more to the live stream, and it gives me an opportunity to have the talk. I really it makes it easier to have the talking points to go back and forth, and share the conversation. It makes the live stream goes a lot more smoother, because if not, you got to hear everything that's coming from this dome, and sometimes you may not understand.
And that's the tough part, you know, about typing in YouTube chat. And that's kind of why I started streaming, was I felt like my person wasn't being portrayed in chat in these simple black and white words. You know, people didn't get a sense of who I am and how I mean the things that I type out. So that's what kind of wanted me to say, hey, this is, you know, jump in front of the camera and say, this is me. You know, this is what I'm about. This is the type of person I am. You know, I'm happy-go-lucky. I never mean any harm. You know, I'm always humble, and I want to be educated. And I also love to also share that knowledge, because that's what life is about. Not being greedy, holding on to stuff, but sharing so that we can all grow together.
Most definitely. Perfect way. That's a perfect way to end the live stream with those words of wisdom, man. I appreciate you. I'm Great Scott. Thank you so much, my man.
Much
And
love.
this definitely won't be the last time that me and you talk. And definitely I'm gonna need your help for that Nightbot. So I can start implementing that inside of the live chat. But for the last couple live chats, I haven't seen any crazy um, things pop up. So
Right.
I'm pretty happy about that. But let me knock on wood because I know usually it comes when you don't think about it. But man, have a
Yeah.
good day. Enjoy your Sunday, and I hope to see you real soon.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless everyone. If anybody out there needs help, you can contact me anytime with Nightbot or anything else. Glad to help.
Awesome. You heard the man. Definitely. I'll make sure I leave. I'm gonna look for your channel and put that inside the link in the description when I put everything in there. And I appreciate you, man. Take care, okay?
Let's say goodbyes. Take care,
Peace.
everyone.
All right. I appreciate everyone who took the time out to be on this 2-hour live stream. A good opportunity to sit down and chat and talk about the Blue Man. 1 second. I hope that wasn't heard the whole stream. It was my system in the morning that goes off. Anyway, let me get back to. Thank you so much for talking about watching the video earlier about the man who took colloidal silver and turned blue. Unfortunately, at 61, in his early 62, I believe, he passed away of a heart attack. They didn't say if it was because of the colloidal silver that he was taking on a daily basis, but it was a story that I thought I wanted to share. It would be nice to share. And thank you so much for Thanks for Yourself for sharing the context of Flat Earth and also some books of the Bible. I learned about the Book of Enoch, also the Book of Jude. So I'll be looking into that information as well. Thank you for the information. I appreciate Brown Sugar, Red, BigFlip, Great Scott, and everyone who came into the chat today to add in the content. And I will see you the next live stream. We have Red says, peace all. And I say the same to you. Peace to you and have a great night. See you next live stream, guys.